Ethan Carter wasn't a hero, not yet anyway. He was just a guy, a lab technician with a passion for science that burned brighter than a Bunsen burner. Every day he clocked into his job at Quantum Dynamics, a high-tech research facility that felt more like a fortress than a workplace. Ethan yearned for something more, a life less ordinary. Little did he know, fate had plans for him, plans that crackled with the raw energy of 1,000 lightning bolts. Ethan's days were filled with routine experiments and meticulous note-taking. He dreamed of groundbreaking discoveries, of pushing the boundaries of human understanding. He craved the thrill of the unknown, the adrenaline rush of scientific breakthrough. But for now, he was stuck analyzing data and cleaning test tubes, his dreams simmering beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to ignite. The storm raged outside, mirroring the turmoil brewing inside the Quantum Dynamics lab. Rain lashed against the windows as Ethan worked late, determined to finish his analysis before heading home. Thunder rattled the building, shaking the very foundation of his reality. He was alone, or so he thought. Unbeknownst to him, a clandestine experiment was underway in the restricted sector, an experiment that would change his life forever. A blinding flash, a deafening roar. The lab plunged into chaos. Alarms blared, red lights pulsed, and the air crackled with raw energy. Ethan, caught in the maelstrom, felt a surge of power coursing through his veins, electrifying his very being. He screamed, a primal cry swallowed by the tempest. When the dust settled and the ringing in his ears subsided, Ethan found himself alive, but forever altered. He was no longer just Ethan Carter, the lab technician. He was something more, something powerful, something extraordinary. The lab's emergency lights flickered on, revealing the aftermath of the explosion. Ethan looked at his hands, his reflection in the shattered glass. They glowed with an otherworldly light, pulsating with the same energy that had ripped through the lab. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through him. He was different, changed, a freak. What had happened to him? What had he become? The accident, he learned, involved a new form of energy, a force they called quantum surge. It had fused with him, rewriting his very DNA. He could feel it humming beneath his skin, a symphony of power waiting to be unleashed. But how? And at what cost? The thought terrified him. Was he still human, or had he become a science experiment gone wrong? A monster in the making? Weeks turned into months. Ethan grappled with his powers, learning to control the energy surging within him. He practiced in secret, pushing his limits, trying to understand the vast potential that lay dormant within him. He knew he couldn't stay hidden forever. The world needed him, even if it didn't know it yet. The opportunity came sooner than he expected. A bank robbery, a hostage situation, a desperate plea for help. Ethan didn't hesitate. He donned a makeshift disguise, a simple mask to conceal his identity, and rushed towards danger. He moved with impossible speed, a blur of motion that left the robbers bewildered and the hostages awestruck. He was no longer the timid lab technician. He was Zenith, a beacon of hope in a world teetering on the edge of chaos. Section 5, The Shadow of Vex. The city hailed Zenith as a hero, but Ethan knew that with great power came even greater threats. And a new threat was emerging from the ashes of the Quantum Dynamics lab. A threat that knew his secret, a threat that mirrored his own powers with chilling precision. Dr. Marcus Vex, the lead scientist on the Quantum Surge project, had also been caught in the accident. But unlike Ethan, Vex reveled in his newfound abilities, twisting them for his own nefarious purposes. He blamed Ethan for the accident, for stealing the power that was rightfully his. He vowed revenge, a promise whispered on the wind, a chilling premonition of the epic battle to come. Section 6, Showdown at Newcrest Tower. The battle began at the stroke of midnight. Vex, consumed by his vendetta, launched his attack on Newcrest Tower, the city's tallest skyscraper, and a symbol of everything Ethan had sworn to protect. He held the city hostage, threatening to unleash the full fury of the quantum surge unless Zenith surrendered. Ethan knew he couldn't ignore Vex's challenge. He raced to Newcrest Tower, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and determination. The fate of the city rested on his shoulders, on his ability to defeat a foe who was his equal in every way. Section 7, a calculated risk. The battle raged atop the skyscraper, a whirlwind of energy blasts and superhuman feats of strength. Vex, fueled by anger and resentment, seemed unstoppable. Ethan realized he couldn't overpower Vex. He had to outsmart him. Remembering his days in the lab, Ethan formulated a plan. He channeled the quantum surge not as a weapon but as a shield, absorbing Vex's attacks and redirecting their energy. It was a risky move, pushing his powers to the limit, but he had to try. The city held its breath, the outcome hanging in the balance. Section 8. Triumph and Responsibility. Vex, caught off guard by Zenith's unexpected strategy, faltered. He'd underestimated Ethan, mistaking his compassion for weakness. Ethan seized the opportunity, unleashing a final, concentrated burst of energy that sent Vex hurtling down from the tower. Exhausted but victorious, Ethan watched as Vex disappeared into the darkness below. He had won, but at what cost? He had peered into the abyss, witnessed the destructive potential of his powers. He knew that the fight was far from over. Vex would be back, and Ethan would be ready. Section 9. A new dawn for Zenith. The city erupted in cheers, celebrating their hero's victory. But Ethan felt a heavy weight settle upon his shoulders. He was no longer just Ethan Carter, the lab technician with dreams of greatness. He was Zenith, the guardian of their city, the protector of their hopes and dreams. As the first rays of dawn painted the sky with hues of hope, Ethan knew his life would never be the same. He had found his purpose, his destiny. He was Zenith, and his story was just beginning.